afternoon, guys.
Hey, Coach.
Hey.
Your assessment of the game? Sorry.
A little wild, I think, for both teams, and it's really hard to get control or know and predict what's things are gonna look like. So we had a basic plan, and it was trying to be a bit safer than normal, and then try and adjust. I think both teams look like first game of the season. And when it's like that, and you don't have much control, and you haven't had loads of experience of everyone together in a league game, sometimes it takes a while. So I think we grabbed a very important goal in the first half, and then we weathered a little bit of the storm. But AD France was unbelievable in keeping the clean sheet, and so was the back line, doing such a good job. And then the last 25-30, I thought we could have scored a lot more. And we got the second one, which is important. So it was a wild, challenging game with no real control. It looked like a basketball game. And sometimes you cling on to your seat, hoping things don't break down. Next minute, you're trying to celebrate a goal. So great to get the 3 points. The clean sheet, I think, is really big time, and it's a platform for us to build off.
It did seem like the second half that you may have settled down a little bit more, and like you said, you guys had a good stretch towards the end of the game where you had plenty of opportunities to score. Did you see a difference between the first and second half?
Yeah, I think that the space that Orlando gave us in the first half, they're such a high line, we needed to get behind them, and we didn't find that quick enough, and we did a few times and we got some good opportunities from it. Second half, the game got a bit more balanced. I think the pocket started opening up between Orlando, and then sometimes it was behind them. And I felt we've done better in finding the pockets, playing in between them, going forward, getting runners past the first and second player, and it was easier to play. But that's most games in this league. Teams are going to always press us. They're always going to press us because they know that our centre mids want the ball and want to control the game. If they press us like Orlando did, we've got to be able to take the space behind them. Then the team has to adjust, and Orlando did today. And then the gaps are there for us to get on the ball and try and do what we like to do. So it's a good step and a great learning opportunity for us. And the first half, manage emotions, manage the game. We hadn't seen anything on Orlando. I mean, we got the lineup pretty close, but tactically, we were coming in very cold. They were coming in watching every single second, and they made fun of it before the game. They had their popcorn, watching the tournament, watching everything we tried to do, and we hadn't seen anything of them. It's not nice coming in blind, and you just got to manage it, and the players manage that incredibly well. It's a really, really great group that are hungry and intelligent just to deal with some madness out there and adjust on the fly a little bit, and they did that. And then you see what Allie Long did there. I mean, we missed that a little bit in the first half. Allie Long breaking out, winning the ball off their deep liar and breaking with sink. Allie Long, that was a piece of magic there. It shows the world-class ability that she's shown here the last few years. It's great to have players like that in your group.
How important is that relationship? You've got players who've been together, playing first game of the year, but they play together over 3 years. How important is that, especially in a game like this, where maybe there is a lot of franticness to it?
Yeah, it's often a bit frantic when, beginning first game or after an international break. This is both. This is a first game and they just got back, so you have 2 or 3 days to remind them of everything. We had a few international breaks last year, and think about it, Chicago away, Seattle away, these were games that we had just got our group back. It's wild, and we learned a lot last year. Those relationships are key. We learned a lot last year that in these games we want to try and do things that give us an opportunity to be good in the game, and sometimes they don't work. We haven't had the time together, and you've got to manage the game. You've got to be smart enough and not too arrogant to just hold on to what you think should be happening. And I learned that last year. I remember Chicago away. We were 1-0 up in the first 30 minutes. I thought we controlled the whole game. In the second half, our energy zapped and our distances got bigger because we hadn't trained together. And I kept trying to put the foot on the gas, and the team couldn't do it. And we learned from that game there and then. Sometimes we have to manage the game, manage momentum, manage the occasion. Today, the players did a really good job of that. I was okay. I was still a little bit excited and sometimes anxious. They did a really good job in pulling us through this, and it's an important one, especially first game.
You had some absences with Tobin out, and then also Captain Reynolds and Dagny. How do you feel like you guys managed without them, and the players that came in stepped up?
Yeah, missing the players that we missed. Having Lindsay Horan, who's trained just this week, hasn't been with us all pre-season, going there. Sel Bouret at right back, Mal Weber getting a start there. So thinking that we have these players coming back in to get healthy and fit. Thinking about Rasso, who's been out for 2 weeks and trained 2 days this week. These players getting fit, getting strong, and having everyone available, it's a really exciting prospect. And we've had a positive mindset in managing the challenges of having a few people out throughout pre-season. Today, I think that the group, again, the credit to the individuals in making this happen today, making the result possible with keeping a clean sheet, putting their bodies on the line, AD pulling us out of trouble a couple of times, and then goal scorers and game changers ready to do that on the other end. So it's thinking about those players coming back in, Tobin, Kath, Dagny, and other players getting fitter and healthier. It's exciting, and they're all doing good. They're all doing good. I expect a lot more available for North Carolina next week when we travel, and that's exciting.
2 more questions.
Allie was obviously dropping back the first half. Was she dropping back farther the first half than you would have liked sometimes and not getting forward as much, or because of the pressure?
Yeah, we love to rotate a lot, and I took the decision that we didn't want to go and rotate too much today. We hadn't trained. We had missed each other for 2 weeks with the break, or 10 days, and we put the responsibility with Allie to be out. She's always our brain on the team, and there's messages that go through her, and she manages a lot for us when we're on the field. We felt that Allie, being the single person playing just under the 2 attacking centre mids, being the defensive mid on her own, sometimes she dropped into the back line to get the ball, sometimes she broke out like you saw and someone sits in. We stopped the rotation that normally happens. We wanted it to be a little bit more simple and not overcomplicate it. And I thought Allie adjusted really well, and you saw there at the end, you can't have her just at the back. You can't just keep her up front. You got to be able to get her everywhere, and I hope we do more of that going forward. Today she had some restriction for sure, and she handled that superbly. And when she got the release of life to break free, you see what happens, and that's the cool thing for us, that we get to be as fluid as we are with players like her, Lindsay, and Mandine, that can play anywhere in those 3 midfield spots.
Last question. Anything else?
Is that what you and Allie were kind of saying with her at the end of the game? I saw she came over and...
We were talking about the pressure she put on the ball when we got the second goal. We had lacked that. There wasn't anyone else on the field. At halftime we had talked about that. Individual pressure on the ball. And Allie broke out. And I told her she was world class. Because how many people will break out, win that ball with the strength she did, break away with pace, and then play the perfect pass for Sinky to slot home. So we're talking about that, and then we're talking about the referee for about 10 minutes. It was an interesting conversation.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So first game, first win. What was kind of your assessment on the field?
I think that the beginning of the game we kind of just wanted to weather the storm, and we knew that it was going to be intense and a little crazy and wild. So I think the first 15-20 minutes were a little both ways, but once we settled in, I think that we stuck to our game plan, and it was a really good first game to get under our belt. Great win, shutout, and exactly what we wanted, so it was good.
Do you feel like it seemed like you guys got a lot of chances in the second half, and maybe things were a little bit more settled? Do you feel like there was a difference between the first and second half?
Yeah, I think the first half we sat back a little bit more. I think at halftime we adjusted some things, and I think that just had more of the freedom that if we think we can win it, we can go, and I think that kind of just to step up the pressure and make them uncomfortable, and just winning more balls in the midfield.
Can you talk about the sequence with the Sinclair's goal?
Yeah, so someone played a square ball to a girl, and I just took advantage of a bigger touch than I think that it's tight in the midfield, and so I just I saw an opportunity to win the ball and kept going, and I think Sink is a world-class forward, and I think that she's so underappreciated, and people don't realize the little tiny movements that she makes for players, even off the ball. And so, yeah, I think that I was just running at the defender, and I kind of took a touch to my left to kind of create a little space, but I saw Sink, and she knew that if I took a touch, I wanted her to go that way. And I think that's just playing over the years and her timing. And yeah, she's one of the best, probably the best forward to play with.
That must have been, after the first half where it looked like you were so responsible for holding back,
Mm-hmm.
it must have felt good to be able to get out and win a ball like that. Just talk about your role today, first half, second half, for yourself.
Yeah, so I think in the preseason games we kind of played, we had some injuries, so Lindsay wasn't in, and we kind of played a different style where me and Amity were more square. In this game, I dropped to a true 6, where I was building out of a 3-back. And I feel like that I watch so much soccer, and a lot of it is just reading things, and I think that I feel when I feel hesitant or I'm kind of boxed into somewhere that maybe I won't step, or, you know, so once the second half and he kind of said it, we have more freedom to put pressure on. I like being able to read what I can and just feeling that if I can go, I can go, and I know that if I go, I have to win it. So yeah, the second half was just a little bit more freedom, I think, and scoring a goal, and I think especially after the 2 goals, a little bit more, you know, me and Amity went 2 holding mids just to balance it and keep it to, and Mana came in to help also. So I think that the second half was different, but yeah.
How do you feel as a group? You dealt with the high pressure in the first half. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think that this game, it's so hard because every team presses differently, but they all come hard. So I think it's just fine-tuning every single time and realizing when to kick it, when to keep it, when to play out, and when to not. When is it the right time to try a ball or not? And I think that kind of comes with trial and error and just being able to sense that and feel that. So I think that there were a couple times that maybe we should have went longer, or misplaced passes that we got. AD came up with big time saves, and credit to her, but overall I think it was good. I think AD's decision making is really good, and we all just have to be on the same page with if we're kicking, because we all can play out. It's just we all have to be on the same page when we do it.
You talked about weathering the storm a little bit in the first half.
Mhm.
I mean, when you kind of look at the mentality of this team and just how much hunger and motivation you guys have, is that a big asset to you guys?
Yeah, I think that, I mean, we all remember what it felt like when we lost in the semifinals in that crazy game, and I think that, I mean, every year we set a goal to win the championship, so losing like that, I think, you know, that kind of sets a precedent of this feeling that we have, and we're hungry, and we all, I kind of like that this is kind of the first year that there's not much turnover. It's pretty much the same team as we had as last year, and that's the first time we've ever had that. So that's a really cool feeling, because I feel like everyone's bought in, and everyone felt the way we felt last year, and so we're all on the same page. We're super hungry, passionate. We enjoy being on the field with each other. We enjoy Mark. We enjoy this whole community and being in Portland. So it doesn't get any better.
What was
Really.
it like for the team? Right before the game, it was really quick, but just being able to share the shield with the fans and just having that extra little boost ahead of the game.
That was so cool, because one of my favorite shows is Vikings. Did you guys know this was gonna come? And so it's like these girls with shields, and I like love that. So it was so cool, and I think that I mean, just Sink raising that was just so cool, and it's credit to all the work that we put in last year, and we kind of just took each game as it came, never looked too far, and you know, we slowly, I mean, we always were in the top couple of whatever, but we came up behind for the last game, and so it was awesome, and feels good to get that, and we're trying to build, and the championship at the end is the goal.
So is your goal to lead the league in offsides?
No, my goal is to get referees that don't call me offsides. No, but you know, I think that timing is super hard, and I would plead the fifth until I see video.
Thanks, Alan.
Thank you, Allie.
Thanks. Can you firstly maybe give us your assessment of the game?
I think it was kind of what we expected, a little hectic, a lot of energy, and we just, I think at times you just saw our quality come through. Obviously the second goal, but some of the chances we created, you could just see the quality we have. But the game is a little chaotic. It's one of those that's nice to get out of the way. Yeah, the first games are always the most difficult, so it's nice to get 3 points.
Do you think it was maybe more settled in the second half? It seemed like you started getting a lot of chances towards the end, obviously the goal.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they started to have to press and to try and get a goal back, but yeah, things started to open up. That's very common in this league, where second half things start to open up and chances are a little easier to come by. But yeah, for us, just a massive win for us. In front of, I don't even know how many fans are there today. It's pretty cool to be a part of.
16-145.
Nice.
Allie Long had an amazing pass sequence to you on your goal. Can you kind of talk about how that goal enveloped from your point of view?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how the ball found Allie, but they were pressing numbers forward, and she just had acres of space in front of their back line, and I found myself running with her, and it's one of those things where Allie and I have now played together. This is our 5th year, and we can sort of read off of each other, and I just pulled wide and made a run through, and she put the perfect pass, and the keeper was kind of caught in no man's land.
Talk about what it's like to have those relationships like you and Allie, and even the whole midfield, you've got veteran players there, some have played here longer than others. What's that like for a forward to have not just a dynamic midfield, but one that's experienced, where you have those relationships?
Yeah, I think you look at our midfield. We've got 3 of the best players in women's football in our midfield, which is a nice thing to have as a forward. And you just know that you make the runs, they'll find you. Even on our penalty, Amandine played a great ball through, and we're not starting from scratch like we were last year with Amandine and Lindsay. Like, we've had a preseason together, we've had a season together, and we're just able to read off of each other a lot better. And I think we're leaps and bounds ahead of where we were at this time last year.
As a forward, how does that impact the way teams defend you when you've got players like Allie or Emily who can make plays coming at them as well?
Yeah, I just think it makes it difficult for teams. We've got world-class players that are able to play in front of their back line, and we've got people that are able to break the line, and a midfield, and even defenders that are able to find players in behind. And hopefully it's a challenge for the other teams in the league to defend us. We'll see.
I think the team's made a point of having something to prove this year after last year's semifinal, but you were still the Shield winners. What was it like for you before kickoff to be able to lift the Shield and share it with the fans and the rest of the team?
Yeah, it was actually, got asked that earlier, and it was kind of bittersweet. Obviously, it's a huge honor, and goes to show the body of work we did last year, but we came up short. And I think for all of us, it's some unfinished business, and still have that bitter taste in our mouth. And obviously to see the tifo that our fans created was incredible, but we're not just going after the Shield this year.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you, Sadie.
Awesome.
Thank you.